This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, now let us talk about these points slowly one by one. First set, we were talking about company, company code, and then company code to company assignment. So here you're talking about company, company code, and then the assignment. As we discussed in the last session, you need to always make sure company, company code is always one-to-one relationship. When we say company, company code is always one-to-one relationship, understand understand for which client you are going to work. When I say understand for which client you are going to work, you need to decide what is your client name that you are going to implement SAP. If this is not clear, you're not supposed to start your configuration, or you're not supposed to practice your SAP FICO. In the previous sessions, we were writing so many company names as an example. Like this, here we have listed so many company names. I told everybody to write similar company names as your understanding, or refer these company names just to get a feel that okay, these are the company names. Similarly, you put one by one, or you take a look at one company name. If I look at Toshiba laptop, what are all the alternative companies who are providing a laptop? You have listed HP laptop, Dell laptop, Apple laptop, Asus laptop, Lenovo laptop. Similarly, Hershey chocolate, other companies where there are chocolates, Kia cars, other companies where there are cars, DMart store, other companies where there is a grocery shopping, Bose, other companies where there are earphones or music system. Similarly, you should also make sure multiple company names are there in your mind. When I say multiple companies are there in your mind, and each company, whatever you're taking for your practice, you must be aware of their products and services. Any company that you are taking for your practice, if you do not know their product and service, please do not take that company for your practice. It's very simple. If you're taking a company and you do not know what is their product, what is their service, it is not recommended that you will take that company for your practice. It is not for the sake of creating a company code, it is for your practical conceptual understanding from the business process point of view. It is possible only when you take a company about which you are aware of. You are not aware of a company, don't take that company for practice. It is not about which company you're taking, it is all about how much knowledge you have, how much you know about your company that you're practicing. Reason, tomorrow when you're practicing, you need to make sure all the basic details of your company you're aware of. And accordingly, when you're going to practice, when you're going to define different settings, you need to make sure this is my requirement, this is my company, this is the business process, this is how I'm setting up the organization structure or business process, whatever it is. Everything is supposed to be based on the requirement. At first level, as a consultant, when I say as a consultant, you should understand the requirement. Now when you're in a project as a consultant, you will be provided with the company name, product, service, business process, requirement, everything by the client. When you're in a project, everything will be provided by the client. For example, if you put this here, first point, you will be given all the requirement from the client. Your client will provide you details related to their company name, their company products and services, their company business process, their expectation in SAP, current problems in current problems in the legacy system. All the business requirement will be provided by client. Here you are going to get something called business requirement. When you're in any project, you will be getting this business requirement from your client. Point number two, based on the business requirement, as a consultant, based on the business requirement, as a FICO consultant, you have to understand the business requirement, do the system configuration. You have to understand the business requirement, do the system configuration. In short, you'll have to do configuration. As a consultant, based on the business requirement, you need to define the system configuration. Once your configuration is completed, you need to make sure that system is thoroughly tested. For that, again you have user. Again you have user. User will do the testing. When we say user is going to do the testing, there are 3 points here. One is your client, another is consultant, and the third one is user. These three combinations are going to work together in any project on SAP, especially on SAP FICO. Now, when you're in a project, you have a client who is going to provide the business requirement. You are a consultant who is going to define the configuration, set up the system as per the business requirement. And once your requirement is configured, as a user, there are other end users who are working in different departments like AP, AR, cash, bank, and all. They will be testing whatever you have set up. Your system setup will be tested by the end user, and then they will provide a confirmation stating, yes, everything is working fine, we are good to go. This is what is going to happen when you're in a project, meaning before your activity, after your activity, there is somebody to monitor. Somebody is telling you you're configuring, somebody is testing, meaning your work is not the starting point, your work is not ending point. As a consultant, you're in middle. As a consultant, you're in middle. You cannot start your configuration unless and until you finalize the business requirement. You cannot say that it is completed unless and until you get the testing confirmation from the user. Meaning, before starting of your work, client will have to give the requirement. After completing your work, user will have to give the testing confirmation. Before and after, you need business confirmation, client confirmation. Before and after, you need to get business confirmation from the client on the requirement on the testing. So there is very less chances that things will go wrong in the project, because whatever the task that you are performing is validated, verified by somebody else. But when you're practicing it, there is no client for you to give the requirement. There is no user for you to test what you have done. You have to play the role of client. You have to play the role of a consultant. You have to play the role of user to understand everything in a systematic manner. Don't think that I am a consultant, I will do only configuration. No, your understanding is wrong. That practice, whatever you do, will not help you. You need to understand here, during your practice, during your preparation, you need to play three roles. You need to look at from the business point of view. When I say you need to look at from the business point of view, understand from client requirement point of view. Understand what will be my business requirement, what will be my client requirement if I am a client in an organization. Similarly, based on that business requirement or based on the client requirement, as a consultant, what you are going to configure, how you are going to configure the system. Based on your configuration, think from a user point of view, how you are going to test the system. Now you need to check and then give a confirmation stating, yes, everything is working fine. Just like that, in the air, you cannot tell it's okay, you move it, we will see later on. Not going to work out. If as a user you confirmed yes, it is working fine, tomorrow as a user, if you're again claiming that no, this is not working fine, as a consultant I am going to tell, no, you confirmed based on your testing, based on your confirmation only, we moved everything to the production system. Now you cannot tell it is not working, this is not set up properly. Now it has to be taken in such a way that you have set up, but we have given incorrect requirement. You have set up, but we have given incorrect requirement. You have set up, but we did not test it properly. It has to be taken on their side, stating that we did not tell proper requirement, or we missed out giving you some requirement, or we did not test properly. Not that they can say you did not set up the system properly. They cannot say that as a consultant you did not do it properly. Because as a consultant, what you did, you tested, you did the configuration, you set up the system based on the requirement, you gave the system to the user for the testing, in short for UAT. When user is performing UAT, when user is doing the testing, they need to make sure that they will test system thoroughly. They need to make sure they will test the system thoroughly. It is their responsibility. Just like that, they cannot test it. They need to make sure all the scenarios are thoroughly, properly tested the way they are going to use them in their real day-to-day business process. Meaning, when you're talking about testing, you have to be very careful with the testing. Testing is nothing but your data entry in your practice. During your practice, You will be posting so many data entries, meaning so many debit credit entries you are posting, so many masters you are creating, GL master, customer master, likewise, so many reports you are going to pull. You are going to run GL report, customer report, vendor report. These are all part of your testing. When we say these are all part of your testing, when we say these are all part of your testing, testing is something that needs to be taken care very properly or very carefully. It is not like that I create a GL account, I save it, it is okay. I post a document, it is okay. I pull the report, it is okay. Not okay. You need to execute your testing in a proper manner, meaning you need to understand what is the requirement, what transaction you are going to test, what are the prerequisites for it, what amount you are posting, where it is supposed to get reflected, and which report is supposed to be verified. Everything you should know even before posting the transaction. Accordingly, you need to post and test while you are practicing, while you are preparing also. Otherwise, the way you practice SAP FICO will be different. The way SAP FICO you will look at in a project will be different, because it is your mistake that you are not practicing in a proper way. It is your mistake you are not understanding the system in a proper way. Just like that, randomly left and right you are posting the entries, pulling the reports. It is our fault. As an individual, whoever is learning, whoever is practicing, it is their fault. Because in any project, in any organization, that is not the way anybody works on SAP FICO. When you know it is not the way, you are not supposed to work in that way. Okay, here you don't have any client, you don't have any user. Keep in your mind, you wanted to become a consultant here. This is what you're targeting. You're targeting to become a consultant. Okay, fine. But to become a consultant, it is not the straightforward, it is not independent. Consultant in any project is not straightforward, it is not an independent, it is a dependent on client activity or on client confirmation, and on the user activity and on the user confirmation. So your consultant activity is not complete without client confirmation, without user confirmation. Only with these two confirmation your activity will be completed in any project. That is your full activity as a consultant. When you are practicing it, there is no client. When you are practicing it, there is no user. Meaning, there is no client who is coming and giving you the requirement. There is no user who is testing what you're doing. Meaning, you will take additional 2 steps while practicing, called, before you do any configuration, understand the requirement from your side. Think like a consultant. Take a simple requirement. Okay, this is my organization, I am the owner of the company. For example, here you take any company first. Okay, let me write company. You take any company first. On this company, 3 roles you have to play. One is owner, assuming that you are the owner of the company. Assuming that you are the owner of company, as the owner of the company, you should know what is your business process. It is not practically possible that I am the owner but I don't know what I am doing. What is my business, what is my requirement, what I want to do, is never going to happen for the any owner. Now you need to think like an owner of the company or owner of the business, and accordingly put out or list out some kind of requirement. Basic requirements only are sufficient. You don't need to think out of the box. Simple requirement, just to make sure you feel comfortable, you feel confident. That's it. Anyways, in the sessions, we will understand everything in the similar way. But I want everybody to keep in your mind, this is how you are going to think, this is how you are going to work. Either in your practice or in your project, it is going to be the similar approach. Next, point number 2, once you are the owner, then think like a consultant. From the consulting point of view, not everything is possible. From the owner point of view, everything is possible, because I am the owner, I can imagine anything, I can desire, I wish everything to happen. but not everything is technically, practically possible. Technicality, practicality, whether it is possible, not possible, technically, whether it is feasible, not feasible, as a consultant also you need to check. As a consultant also you need to check. From the owner point of view, mindset is different, expectation, thinking is different. From a consultant point of view, mindset, expectation, thinking is different, because as a owner you are free to think anything, you are free to ask anything, because you are paying money. As a owner, you are paying money to a consultant, you are free to ask anything, you are free to get any works done, any requirement you can provide, because you are paying money. You are paying money, you are free to ask any requirement, because nothing wrong in it. You can ask anything, you can ask everything to be done. But as a consultant, not anything can be done, not everything can be done, because there are some limitations even for a consultant. Certain things are not possible. Certain things are very tough. Certain things are very complex. If you do certain things, some other things may get affected. All these things you need to understand, meaning whether it is possible or not possible, you need to understand, and then whether it has any impact or not on the existing process if you do it. These points also you need to understand, meaning from the consultant point of view also you should know how to think. Third point, from the user point of view. When I say from the user point of view, as a user, how you are going to work. Every user wants to work fastly. They want to complete their task quickly. They don't want to put a lot of manual efforts. Any user, let's say I am coming to the business, working as a data entry operator or working as an end user. My duty is to make sure every day I need to punch 100 documents. Now, if every document is taking 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and a lot of errors while posting the document, I'm not happy as a user. I want to make sure, is there any solution that can speed up my data entry so that I can meet my target quickly? Every day I am happening to stretch 1 hour to complete my target, or my performance is not good because I'm getting a lot of errors, I'm not understanding. User is not happy here because it is not helping user to complete their activities fast. Similarly, there are certain reports which are expected by the management. Management is asking for various reports. Now the user, whoever is working on these reports, they feel that no report is coming but number is not accurate, or the format is not correct. Some things are not updated here, or certain reports are not available in SAP. What I am doing, I am happening to take 2-3 reports and then prepare manual report and then submit it to the management, because I am not getting this report in system. Or even if the report is coming, it is taking a lot of time. It is taking, let's say, 45 minutes, 1 hour to pull the report. When I run the report, I need to sit in front of the report, I need to make sure system is not getting locked, all this kind of a thing, no connection stability issues and all. You need to provide some kind of a solutions to the user also, understand from the user point of view also, how users are working, what are the user pain areas, how do you give solutions to the user with which they feel that yes, my work is simplified. All these things you need to think as a consultant. It is not that it is end user task, I am nowhere connected to it, then it is something that is you're not thinking as a consultant. As a consultant, you need to think in such a way that you're able to understand from the owner point of view, in short from the business point of view, and then from the user point of view also. Only then practically you can relate the things. Practically you can relate the things, what you will be doing in a project, what is the expectation from you in a project, how you need to manage, understand the different things to become a consultant. It is not only about configuration, it is about various other things that we are adopting. Okay, once these things are there, you need to think from the business point of view. When I say business point of view, I am talking from the owner point of view, because there is no owner here. If you're talking about I am going to practice for Dell, no Dell owner is coming and sitting with you to tell their requirement. You are telling a Dell company code, you are creating entries left and right. Okay, you are taking Apple company code, you are posting entries left and right. Nowhere iPhone is coming, nowhere Dell laptop is coming, no profit center related to Dell product, no profit center related to Apple product. Meaning your company name and then the configuration that you are doing, entries that you are posting are nowhere relevant. When I say they are nowhere relevant, then it's of no use how you are doing this, how you are practicing this system. So these kind of a mistake we need to avoid right from the beginning. When you're avoiding these mistakes right from the beginning, going forward, slowly you will be feeling more comfortable, more confident on the business process, on the business requirement. You will not do configuration if you don't know the requirement. You have to reach to a level. If there is no requirement, you cannot do anything. No requirement, no config. That's it. Simple. Config is always based on the requirement. Not configuration is based on my training video. Configuration is based on my Google source document or XYZ source document. It is not. It is purely based on business requirement. No requirement, no configuration. Next one, what we need to do is you need to understand certain basic fundamental points. When I say certain basic fundamental points, pay attention on reports first. Pay attention on reports. When you're talking about pay attention on reports, there are three major reports in every organization for every company. Those are called as your financial statements. Those three major reports or important reports are called as financial statement. Whenever you're talking about financial statement, we are basically representing three reports anywhere. One is trial balance, which is nothing but TB. Second one is profit and loss statement, which is nothing but P&L. Third one, balance sheet, which is nothing but BS. In short, if you're talking about any organization, if you're talking about any company, please make sure you are able to understand, you are able to think from a perspective of trial balance, P&L, and then balance sheet. Think that you are able to understand from the TB point of view, P&L point of view, balance sheet point of view. These three are very, very important. These three are very, very important because before you start your project, you will have to make sure what is their size of business. What is their size of business? You are going to look at their P&L. You are going to look at their balance sheet. You will look at what is their profit, how many assets are there, how many liabilities are there. Accordingly, you are going to tell what is the company's net worth, what is the company's position, how big is company, what is the volume of the transaction and all. You will be able to identify, decide with the help of this one, size TB, P&L, balance sheet. Similarly, when you're talking about any organization for your practice, for your practice also you need to make sure you take a company. For that company, you are aware of TB, P&L, balance sheet. Any company you take, TB, P&L, balance sheet is required. Now we are talking about a point called implementation. You're talking about a point called SAP FICO implementation. Wherever we are talking about, let us be very specific related to FICO. You are not concerned about other modules. You are a FICO consultant. First, understand what is happening in FICO, what you should know about FICO. After knowing from FICO point of view, you can think, talk, know about any other point in SAP. But first thing, please make sure limit your knowledge, limit your effort towards FICO only so that you will gain more knowledge. Generalized content, if you are understanding reading, that is not connected to FICO. Tomorrow when you talk to somebody, everybody is expecting you to talk about FICO because you are a FICO consultant. Talk about FICO, understand FICO. Don't tell that I'm talking about him. I know generalized SAP, not much related to FICO, then you're not a FICO consultant. There is nobody called SAP consultant. There is always SAP FICO consultant, SAP consultant, likewise, not SAP consultant, SAP followed by the module. Put what is your specialization. You are specialized in FICO. Understand FICO first. Don't think about anything at this moment. Think only about FICO first. In any SAP FICO implementation, what is going to happen? You have something called project activities, because you are going to do it as a project. Implementation is a project. Once your project activities are completed, you have something called system handover and system usage. Project activities. When you're talking about project activities, it is nothing but you are starting the project. You are starting the project, you are understanding the client requirement, business requirement, you are setting up the system. All these points are part of your project activities. All these points are part of your project activities. And then once all the project activities are completed, you need to hand over system to the client. When you are handing over system to the client, it is nothing but your go live. This is nothing but go live. This is nothing but go live. You would have heard a term called project go live, system go live, SAP go live. Go live means the day when your client is using SAP. Right? It is a delivery. Basically, it is called as a delivery. When you deliver SAP system to the client, the day it is called as go live. Go live means on that day or from that day, client is starting to use their business transactions in SAP system on a daily basis. Now your go live is dependent on opening balance upload. Go live is straight away dependent on opening balance upload. Go live is straight away dependent on opening balance upload. From where you will get opening balance upload? From trial balance. Opening balance is the showstopper for any project go live. How you will get the go live trial balance? You will get the trial balance from your financial reports. Okay, meaning your implementation is incomplete without a trial balance. Your project will not be handed over to the client. Your project will not be handed over to the client. It is as simple as like you are delivering a vehicle to the user, car to the user, but you are not giving them a key. What will they do with the car, with the vehicle? Though doors are opening, though you are able to sit, handle is not locked, but still, since there is no key to start, you can do nothing. Because before you start driving, you need to make sure fuel is there, car is running fine, so that I can start my journey. In the similar way, before your client starts using SAP, they wanted to make sure all the existing balances are uploaded properly in my SAP so that I can start my business process. All your existing balances are basically called as opening balance upload. This opening balance upload is performed based on the trial balance. Meaning you cannot say I am practicing SAP FICO, I learnt SAP FICO, but I do not know trial balance. Never ever tell this statement to anybody. Never tell that I do not know TB, I do not know PNL, I do not know balance sheet to anybody when you say yourself as a SAP FICO. Strictly not possible, zero possibility for it. When this is a 0% possibility, there is a 0% chance that you are telling to somebody, I do not know about TB or trial balance. Okay, from the trial balance, you are going to upload the opening balances. Only after uploading opening balances, you will provide or you will hand over system to the client. In short, without TB, your project is incomplete. Your project is incomplete without a trial balance. And after that, every month there is something called closing, month end. Everybody would have heard something called month end, quarter end, or year end. Especially those who are working in the finance side, accounting side, every month, every quarter, every year they are talking about it. Is it correct? Right? When somebody is
Yes, sir.
talking about
Yes,
we are busy with month end, we are busy with quarter end, we are busy with year end, what are they doing at the month end? What are they doing at the quarter end? What are they doing at year end? Why can't they do it tomorrow? Why they need to do it today to stretch in the office? sit till late night because they want to finalize the financial statements. Am I correct? At the end
Yes.
of every month, every organization, every user will have to finalize their financial statement. Financial statement meaning trial balance, P&L, balance sheet. For example, I am in the month of August now. August month end may be done on once 31st August is completed, official transactions related to August are closed. Now what you need to do, all the official transactions of August month, you need to account in August month. All the August month transactions you need to record in August month. For that, you will be taking some buffer time, maybe 3 days, 5 days buffer time you will take. That is where you are going to call it as our month end is plus 3 plus 5 logic, meaning calendar day 3, working day 3, calendar day 5, work day 5, meaning August month may be closed on 3rd of September, on 5th of September, on 7th of September, depending on the organization. Before that date, they need to make sure all the data entry of financial transactions are accounted, all reconciliations are performed, you finalized the trial balance, TB is becoming zero, you found out the profit and loss account, you decided what is the profit for the month or loss for the month, you identified what is our asset position, what is our liability position. This is sent to the management, the CFO and all, they will approve it. Is this common in every organization?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir, it's
Or
common.
any exception in this, or this is mandatory, common or mandatory?
This is mandatory.
This is mandatory in any organization,
Mandatory.
in any country, no exception to it. When you're talking that yourself as a FICO consultant, you are working on a project where accounting is performed. You're working in a project where accounting is performed. You're interacting with the users who are responsible for account, finance and account. Now they will be discussing with you on various things. First point, as a FICO consultant, when you tell that you have implementation project experience, as a FICO consultant, when you tell you worked on one implementation project, you cannot tell I don't know TB, you cannot tell I don't know opening balance upload. Never tell to anybody you know implementation if you do not know about trial balance, if you do not know about opening balance. Strictly don't tell anyone, because without this no project will be completed. When you know that there is no project which can be completed practically without a trial balance, without a opening balance upload, there is no point you talk about implementation project, you were part of implementation project. Strictly do not talk about it. You would have heard a term called cutover activities. Anybody heard?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Sir,
Cutover and catchover activities. Yes, no? Anybody heard these terms?
Yes.
Yet these are straight away related to implementation project. Cutover activities are straight away related to implementation project, rollout project,
Yes.
meaning these are all the migration activities. Migration activities means from one system to another system, whenever you are coming, you need to perform cutover activities. It is as simple as like you are moving from one house to another house. You are moving from one house to another house. When you are moving from one house to another house is what? For example, you have the old house. Now you are building a new house. Possible? Is it possible?
yes.
Yes.
It is possible. Now, maybe your old house, whatever you are currently living in, you may not be liking it. It is very congested. It is a very old construction. Your forefathers constructed it, but your family count had become more for your office or for your children's school. Different reasons are there why you want to go to a new house. Agree? It is not like that out of your passion you wanted to go to a new house for style and all. You're planning to go to a new house because moving from old house going to new house, is it a cost involvement is there or not? It is free of cost,
Cost involved.
right? It is not that just like that you will move today to one house, tomorrow to another house. Will you do it? If you do it, you are at a loss,
Yes.
right? You have to think about so many things before you take a decision. Let us assume that we decided to go to a new house. We decided to go to a new house. You wanted to go for a construction. You decided to go to a new house on a construction basis. There are two ways: you can buy ready-made, you can buy construction. We are assuming a point where you are constructing the house. When you are constructing a house, land is yours, money is yours. Can you construct on your own?
No.
No.
You are the owner of the land. You have all the materials with you. Can you construct on your own?
No.
No.
No, we need
You are
labor.
right. You are dependent on so many things, and again, you don't want to engage labor and all. You don't want to take these activities on your head, as you do not know how to manage the workers, how to manage the work. Agree? So what you are going to do? You are going to give it to a builder. Agree? You are going it to you are going to give it to a builder. Now this builder
Yes.
will take care of everything. Now here, is it your decision or builder decision how to build the house? How many rooms are
No.
supposed to be there? What will be your hall size? What will be bedroom size? How many rooms are there? How many floors are there? Is it builder choice or your choice?
Our
Our
choice, sir.
choice.
Hmm? Owner choice or
Our
Our
builder choice?
choice.
Our choice,
Owner choice.
our choice.
right? Our choice. You need to discuss with whom? With the builder. This is my area. This is my area. I wanted to build a house like this. I wanted to give it for commercial purpose. I wanted to give it for residential purpose, or semi-commercial, semi-residential. Those who are not talking, immediately please mute to avoid the disturbance. For commercial, residential, semi-commercial, semi-residential, whatever it is, you decided that you agreed everything. Now builder has to agree to what you're telling, right? There may be certain things you tell that I want to have like this. Builder may tell, sir, this is not possible because the size is very small, or to build like this we should have done it in a different way. Now it is not possible. Some changes, when you ask, in between are not possible. Possible? Agree or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Right? There is something called your initial requirement. There's something called initial requirement. When I give the initial requirement, based on the initial requirement, your builder would have got a plan developed, construction plan or the layout, everything he would have developed, and then he has given it to you. When you go through the initial requirement, you can ask for any correction. You would have told, no, 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 please increase the bedroom size, please increase the kitchen size, or can you please put something here, something there, can you move it here, can we have it like this design, that design. Anything is possible when your initial requirement is given. Now if you make any corrections are possible or not here?
Yes, possible.
Corrections are possible. When your corrections are there, when your builder is making the correction, what he will do, he will give revised document. Agree? He will revise the requirement document, he will share the another document, meaning revised plan he is going to share. Now when you are okay with the revised plan, you are going to say okay to proceed. You say that now okay, plan looks fine, let us start the construction. Agree?
Yeah.
Once you feel that okay, this everything seems to be okay, now let us start the construction. Once you tell that okay, let us start the construction, your builder is beginning the work. Once your builder is beginning the work, he may be digging everywhere. He may be digging everywhere. If he is putting holes everywhere on the land, you're okay?
No.
Because you need to make sure, as per the plan, we need to put, let's say, 11 pillars. As per the plan, you need to put 11 pillar. This is the pillar position. Exactly there only you need to dig. Why you are digging there when there is no pillar there? Meaning it is not as per the plan. You are not supposed to put any hole. You are not supposed to dig there. Agree? Unless there is a valid reason.
Yes.
Right? Let's say he had done the work, pillars, basement, everything is completed. Now you're telling, and can I please make this correction? Now say here work started. Now some corrections. Work started, pillars are done, basement is done, some other activities going on, he's getting prepared for the slab and all. Now you have come up with some correction. Is it straight away possible or it is subjected to some terms and condition?
Is subject to terms and
Some
conditions.
terms and conditions.
Some
Terms
terms
Right?
and
to
Not
condition.
right? This is now subject to terms and condition. If a correction which is not having any impact, meaning you need to understand impact analysis. When I say you need to understand impact analysis, there are some corrections where you need to do nothing with the existing setup, whatever you have done. It is undisturbed. You are just adding one more thing. You are okay. You said, okay, I'll do it. But there are certain things he's telling, can you please increase the room size? Because we thought and then we decided that no, room size is not okay. We wanted to increase the room size. To increase the room size, I may have to move a pillar. Now, is it practically possible for me to move the pillar?
No.
I can move it. If that is your strong will and determination, I will move it. I have to demolish the existing pillar. I can put another, but it will increase your cost or not?
Yes.
It is increasing your cost. Now, when I tell that okay, I will do it, but this will cost the amount, I have to scrap the work whatever is done. You cannot tell existing pillar you cut neatly and you put one more hole, put this pillar in that hole. Is that going to work?
No.
You have to rework it completely, right? You need to redesign the pillar. You'll have to restructure the pillar completely. And again, you need to think, if I put pillar here, will my building have the strength or not? From a user point of view, it is okay. They simply tell you removed here, put it there. What's wrong in it? But from a technical point of view, you know the pain that it is going to have. You know the risk of it, right? Certain things at some stage is possible. Certain things at some stage is not possible. That is why when it comes to client requirement, business requirement, unless and until you understand the business process, blindly you should never tell yes or no. Blindly you should never tell yes or no, because there are so many points, there are so many scenarios and situations which you need to understand before you commit anything to the client. Let's say I have done everything. Usually what will happen, whenever your builder is starting the construction, is he going to provide the tentative or approximate handover date or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right? He is going to provide tentative or approximate handover date, meaning accordingly you are going to plan your house inauguration or housewarming function and all. Agree?
Yes.
Let's say that my construction is happening now. I'll say this is going to be handed over in
नाही केलं तेच बघत आहे
September
तुला
15th.
चालू करायचंय करू चालू
Others, please be
विदाउट
on
नीट
mute. Those who are not talking.
करू नाही पहिले तर
Okay. Let's say that the tentative date for handing over the flat or the building or the construction is 15th September. Now you would have made your arrangements according to 15th September, maybe housewarming function, inviting your guest and all. Right?
Yes.
It's not that you're getting the handover of the flat, you will keep quiet secretly, you will go inside the home, right? You're going to tell to your friends, family, relatives, well-wishers that on 15th September we are going to the new house, inauguration is happening. Please be invited. Please come at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. You may be printing the cards, invitations. You may be doing some kind of arrangements for yourself to make sure. Now, on any reason, for any situations, if your builder is not going to hand over on 15th, you should have prior information or it should be a surprise. For any reason, if your flat cannot be completed on time,
I,
you should have prior intimation is required, because accordingly you need to communicate for different people. Now you would have told so many people, let's say somebody is staying abroad, somebody is staying in some other city, somebody is staying in some other locality, somebody has very urgent important work. Because you told on 15th September, they would have cancelled all their activities, they are coming there. Now on the day, for different reasons, unforeseen reason, you said that sorry, due to different reasons, I am not going to house tomorrow. I will update you the next date when we are going live. You please come again once again. Will it give you a positive impact or a negative impact?
Negative impact.
This is definitely going to provide a negative impact. Even in any project, whenever you are working, everything is based on the target dates. When I say everything is based on the target date, you need to make sure what are your timelines, what are your target tentative dates for the completing any activity. Accordingly, you need to start your work. Accordingly, you need to plan your work. When I say according to, you need to start your work, plan your work. Otherwise, you will not be able to complete the project on time. In between, many requirement changes will come from the business. When I say in between, many requirement changes will come from the business. As a consultant, you should know what is to be taken up, what is not to be taken up. You are the one who is going to take the decision because you are the one who is configuring the system. When you know you are configuring the system, you should know what changes are possible, what changes are not possible. It is not like that blindly whatever is telling, okay, I will remove it, I will do it. Nothing is going to work out like that. You will never go live in the project. You will never be able to hand over the system to the user. Client requirement will never be fulfilled because clients users will keep on telling, I want this, I want that, do it like this, do it like that. Because initially when you take the requirement, they do not know about SAP. They would not have seen anything in SAP. But as you progress, you will be showing them in the test system, you will be asking them different clarifications. Slowly they will be understanding, okay, this is how my requirement is coming up. Once they start to look at the output slowly, they will be changing their requirement. Their mindset will be changed. Even when you're constructing the house, from the layout, from the plan, it looks different. But at each stage, the appearance of the house becomes different or not? Right? You and I also feel that if it is like this, it will be more better. I don't think this is giving a good look. Let me change it. Certain changes are possible, certain changes are not possible. Meaning, what are all the changes which are possible? What are all the changes which are not possible? You need to understand as a consultant. This is your main requirement, main key point from your point of view. Meaning, without this, it's of no use. You're doing the configuration, but it doesn't make any sense. Is this example clear?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
Yeah.
once
Yeah.
everything is completed, now on 15th September, I need to move to new house. Does it mean that I leave everything in old house there only? I'll go to new house, I'll buy everything brand new completely, I'll throw everything
No.
whatever I'm using, or I will shift from old house to new house?
Old house to new house, so we need to shift.
There's something called shifting? Yes, no?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
There's
Sir.
something called
Yes.
shifting.
Yes, sir.
Everybody is able to relate that you need to shift, you need to perform something called shifting from old house to new house. Agree with me, everyone? This is shifting, is from SAP point of view called as your cutover activities. Now, when it comes to shifting, not everything you can shift on 15th September. Only important things, mandatory things you will shift. There are certain things which you can shift even after 15th September, meaning after your ceremony.
Yes.
Right? It is not that full shifting is completing within 15th. Not going to happen. There are certain things because you know that many guests will come. I don't want to put everything in the house so that it become congested. Different reasons. Certain things you will be shifting after your ceremony, after your function, because you still have time. Those kind of a thing after your function, whatever you are doing, are called as catchover activities. Okay, on your ceremony date, whatever you're shifting is cutover. After ceremony date, whatever you're shifting is catchover. Clear? This is one example that you need to understand. I'll connect this once again with the different points once we move forward. Another example, if I want to quote, to understand what exactly is the implementation. Let's say
Hello.
there is a festival, or let's say there is an event. Assuming that there is a festival or there is an event. For the festival or for the event, usually what we all will do, you wear new dress.
Yes.
That's what common.
Yes.
For any
Yes.
festival, for any event, we are all going to wear
Yes.
new dress.
Yes.
When you are wearing a new dress, you have two options. Option number one is a ready-made. Option number two is a customize. Agree?
Yeah.
Right? Ready-made is not part of implementation. Ready-made is not part of implementation. What is part of implementation? Customizing is part
Customize.
of implementation. Agree?
Yeah.
Here also you are not taking ready-made house. Here you are taking constructed construction. Here also you are not taking ready-made clothes. You are taking customized. For you to do it, you need to have some prerequisite. What you need to do? You need to select a material. Select a material and then buy the material. Correct? You need to select which material you want to buy. Silk, cotton, wool, whatsoever. And then you need to buy that material. Assuming that you selected a material, you bought the material. Can you stitch yourself?
No.
No.
Who you are dependent on?
Tailor.
You are dependent on tailor. Assuming that you have gone to tailor, what tailor will do first? He will ask you, what do you want?
Measurement.
Right? He will first ask, what do you want? Whether you want to stitch a suit, whether you want to stitch a formal, whether you want to stitch X, Y, Z. Ladies or gents, whosoever, when you go to the respective lady tailor or gent tailor, they are going to ask you which design you want to customize or which design you want me to stitch. Accordingly, they are going to ask. Let's say you have told some requirement. According to the requirement, they are going to take the measurement. Let's say they took the measurement. When they take the measurement, usually what will happen? Tailor is going to provide a copy to you. Tyler will give a slip to you which contains your measurement, yes or no, and a sample of your cloth pieces,
Yes.
Yes.
right? Because tomorrow when you come for the delivery, he needs to make sure that he will give your clothes to you. It's not that somebody else's clothes he is giving it to you. And similarly here also it is date specific. Let's say there is an event. Let's say there is a festival on 20th, on 1st of September, or there is an event, there is your birthday, anniversary, whatsoever, and you wanted to wear this dress on 1st. So definitely you need it on and before 31st September or after 1st September is also okay. Is delay accepted here? Not accepted here.
Not accepted.
Not accepted.
Can you accept delay here in the
Not
construction?
Not
No.
accepted.
No.
In the
No.
construction, can you accept? Construction
No.
you can accept, because this is a major activity, many things are involved. You may say that okay, if you know well in advance, you can accept the delay, not by months, by maybe another week, another few days you can say. But here it is strictly not possible. Here you can consider accepting the delay,
No.
maybe by a week or not, for the house construction.
Yeah, it is possible
Yes.
for this.
Right? It is possible because many things are there, and you also wanted to make sure everything goes smooth. You don't want everybody is coming and telling, "Arey, this is not good, this is not good." You wanted to make sure all these things are rectified before you inaugurate the house or before you do the function. But here, you cannot accept the delay at all. You will leave it, but you will not accept it. Agree? If it is not completed on time,
Yes.
no compromise here. Now, once
Yes.
measurements are taken, he is going to provide a copy to you which contains your measurement. Let's say what is your height, length, whatever it is, all the measurements, whatever are taken as per your requirement, he is going to give a copy to you. And on 31st August or on 30th August, he said he will hand it over. Now, after giving the measurement and all, you went home. Then suddenly you got an idea that, array, if it is in this method, it will be more good. In the other method, it is more good. You immediately call your tailor, or you will again go to the tailor saying that I wanted to change style like this. I wanted to put this length like this, length like this. Is it possible or not possible? Here also there are changes possible. Now here changes are possible until what tailor will do first? He will cut the cloth, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Before cutting a cloth and then after cutting a cloth. When your changes are possible? Before cutting or after cutting?
Before
Before
cutting.
cutting.
Changes are possible here.
Before
Yeah.
After cutting the cloth, changes are possible?
No.
No.
Not possible.
no.
He can still do the changes, but it looks like patchwork. Agree? He will have to
Yeah.
join to the two pieces and then do the stitching, put something on top of it. It is a patchwork, doesn't give a good look. Right? So you need to make sure at what stage changes are possible, at what stage changes are not possible. You tell that today only I gave you the requirement, how come you're telling not possible? Because he is more smart. He already started cutting the cloth and all. Meaning sometimes doing immediately will also put you in trouble. Sometimes working late also will put you in trouble. Agree?
Yeah.
You should know how to work. It is not that you gave me the work, I gave the slip. I am going to tell you that this is my cloth. I am going to pay you money. Tell me if you need extra money, I will pay you. But even though I am ready to pay money, is it possible if I cut the cloth?
No.
Yes, no?
Yes.
Not possible. So I need to tell, as a tailor, I need to tell, okay, this is the requirement, this is final. If there are any changes, if you wanted to make any corrections and all, please make sure we will start the work from tomorrow. Before tomorrow, meaning by end of today, you need to confirm if there are any changes. Otherwise, changes are not possible. You need to tell to the client, irrespective whether your client is aware or not, because you know that you are going to be at a risk here,
Yes.
right? Because you are going to be at a risk. Now you cannot tell that no, our workers are very fast, very quick and all. Today you said I gave the requirement today itself you started the work. Tomorrow in future I give you another requirement. Even after 3-4 days nothing will happen. Then I'm going to blame you. The other day you did very quickly, my changes were not possible. I'm still struggling with it. Whenever I look at that process, whenever I post that entry, process that report, pull that report, I'm still finding that this could be better. But now when we give the requirement, even after 1 week, even after many follow-ups, nothing is moving. Things will come, things will turn in different ways in a twisted manner. Especially in the project, in any real environment, you need to understand this point. When you're understanding this point, definitely the way you're looking at the system, the way you're thinking about SAP consulting will slowly start changing. These changes, these points, if you are not clear with, it will be difficult for us to manage in the project. When I say this is going to be difficult, you do not know what is the situation, because as a consultant, when you're joining in any organization, in any project, nobody will tell you all these points, what is happening in the project. You never know. You never know why your manager is coming and shouting at you. You never know why your manager is coming, very good, let's go for a lunch tomorrow. You never know why he is shouting today, why he is telling we'll have lunch tomorrow. He is telling, okay, you can take leave. Or he is telling, indirectly he is scolding somebody or he is shouting on somebody, but you know that he is targeting me. You don't know what is happening in and around. Meaning, it is not that you go to the office, do the configuration, come back, no work is there, you will sit, enjoy, relax. That is not going to work out. Slowly, when you start understanding, slowly, when you start realizing, you will be feeling, yes, this is what is consulting, this is how I need to work, these are the things I need to remember, I need to know. Without there are certain fundamentals, practically you will not be able to relate the things. It's all about how you're relating the things, how you're feeling comfortable, confident on the subject. It is not about whether you know the T code, whether you know the config, whether you practiced one time, 10 times. It is immaterial. At the end, whether you're logically connected, you're conceptually clear or not. If you're clear conceptually, logically, you can do anything in SAP. Because wherever you go, things will work on the same logic, same concept, same fundamental. If you're sticking to the fundamentals properly, automatically any situation comes in your project, these fundamentals will take you to the destination. If you're not fundamentally clear, strong, very difficult for anybody to manage. Especially at your stage where you are entering to the SAP, you should be more dependent on the fundamentals. Your basics fundamentals should be very strong, because nobody is expecting you to be expert on solutioning and all. Everybody is expecting you to understand what others are telling. You don't tell anything from your side. Whatever others are telling, I just want you to understand and then act accordingly. I'm just expecting you to understand what others are telling, act accordingly. I don't want you to tell anything from your own. Nobody wants it. If it is the situation, it is very simple, very easy to manage. And these simple things also we are not able to manage means it is very difficult for us to manage once you get the job. Not to get the job, after getting the job, managing your job 8 hours per day is a very tough task for anybody. It is not, don't think about your interview. Interview is only 30 minutes, maximum 45 minutes. Anybody can easily manage. But after clearing your interview, you need to make sure every day 8 hours you need to sit in front of the system in the office. You never know who will call you for what during your 8 hours. So 8 hours will be a nightmare for you every day. You always wait from morning 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock should not be there in the 24 hours. If things are going worst, people will think that no, I don't want to go to office today. I wanted to take sick leave today. Because you're not confident, you don't know what they ask. They have given a task, they will ask you for the status, you have not done anything, things are not moving. You feel very scared, afraid. These are situations we have to avoid. Okay? Like this, slowly you need to understand what is going to happen. These are all related to your implementation. Further expansion of these examples and all, we will understand again when the situation is correct, when scenario is there, we will do it. Now here also when you're talking about cutover activities, let's say that my stitching is completed. In the process of stitching, when I buy the cloth, it is neatly ironed properly there. But in the process of stitching, my cloth has got many marks of, let's say, the chalk piece or marker pen, or it has got many, what do you say, it is fully wrinkled and all. Tiny, the thread particles are all and all are there. I need to make sure before I deliver it to you, I neatly iron it, I neatly fold it, I make sure there are no missing parts of it. I put button, but I did not put a hole to insert the button. So these kind of things you need to make sure. These are all your cutover activities, meaning before handing over system to the client or before handing over shirt or dress to the client, you need to make sure everything is fine. No stitching is missing, right? Nothing is left over on this one. No marks are there. It is neatly ironed, neatly folded, packed. Then only you have to give it. You'll have to give it to the client or to your user in a presentable manner, not just like that. No matter whether it is expensive or inexpensive, whether you're happy doing it, not happy doing it, you have to do certain things, right? These points, when you're able to understand, when you're able to keep it in your mind, it will make you feel more comfortable, more confident on the subject. Otherwise, we will be technically doing it, you're unable to understand because you're not able to relate it with anything. But the moment you're starting to relate it with something, you will be understanding slowly. I'm not telling one day you will understand, but it takes some time. It takes some time in the sense, maybe a month it might take for you to feel comfortable, confident. But yes, you will be confident, you will be comfortable. All right, fine then. Let me stop this here. The remaining portion we will be understanding in the next session. All right, bye.
Hello, Ajay.
No, I'll take